Hello, and welcome back to the Norwegian campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Facing the British fleet here at Gibraltar, I don't think they like me trying to take it from them. So we're actually not outnumbered, for a change, but we're kind of out-tonnaged, especially by these huge British super battleships. 101, almost 102,000 tons. Except this one though, it's underweight for some reason. Hull defect, I guess. But yeah, decent top speed, 27.2 knots, almost as fast as my my battlecruisers, faster than my older battlecruisers, and 20.1-inch guns. That is quite impressive. They also have this one, a battlecruiser of 32.2 knots with 18.3-inch guns. Yeah, they like their big guns, the British. So yeah, let's just try and make this work. I'm gonna have to fiddle with some formations, I think, because well, things get weird if I mix ships with different top speeds in the same formation. So, okay, that's what these ships look like. All forward gun placement. Or is it? Maybe? That might be a secondary turret. I'm not sure. No, I think that's a primary turret. Anyway, since I've got two task forces that accidentally joined together by glitching through the Strait of Gibraltar, I'm gonna have to fiddle around with the formations here. Okay, I think I've got everything set up in a usable way. Let's take a look at these ships that the enemy has sent. Yeah, it's not a full all-forward design. They do have an X turret here. It's like ABCX. Mark II 20-inch guns. So, as I thought, these are... well, they might have Mark III by now unlocked. Let's see, they do not have radar. So I think, yeah, I think these are from the last war. And the ships that I tried to take one of them as war operations, but they just didn't give it to me. Sometimes you don't get what you ask for. Here's the other ship they have. Also no radar. Diesel 2 though. So neither of these ships are their latest battleships. I think the Canopus class that we've seen before is their latest. Armor is very good. Yeah, especially if you look at those third layers. They're pretty chunky. And that is that looks very decent. I like the layout. Some randomness going on with the secondaries and the funnel placements and all that, but I like it. I like that. I like it more than this, even though this is a more advanced ship with better armor. You did not have radar. You've got Mark II guns. You got Mark III. Yeah, this is quite a bit newer. We've seen these before. We know they're decent. I would not be opposed to taking what was this, Superb class? I would not be opposed to taking some of these as war operations and just refitting them, because I just love this style of British battlecruiser hull. I think it's one of the most attractive looking hulls in the game. Now, Let's put that attractive looking ship under the sea. I just hope we don't get too much of a traffic jam. With our own formation here. For frick's sake. That is still something I really would like to have in this game. The ability to deploy my ships at the start of the battle so I don't have to deal with this huge mess trying to get things lined up. Now we're already in firing range. And I just hope these guys can get their stuff together. Let's see. Let's send out the Flamberge-class DDs first. Got 4 of these, 4 Vikings, 2 J-33s. I can ready up the Vikings as well, I think. Now, let's see, you got 16-inch guns. 16-inch guns get to fire at the big ship. The 14s can fire at the light cruiser. Let's see, what's the range of my 13 Mark IV? 30 kilometers. 16 Mark IV, 34. 14 Mark IV, 32. And these 20-inch guns only 22, because they're Mark IIs. Well, this is probably a more dangerous ship, the Indomitable. How about the Courageous? Also not that amazing range. Heavy shells, increased ammo. Cube powder 1, but dunite. This could be explosive. This battleship. See, still not scoring any hits on that light cruiser. That's formation is looking okay. There we go. We score a hit on the enemy battleship. Let's smoke up my DDs. Let's try and get torpedoes going from 2 different angles here. I think Svea is gonna cause some trouble here. Maybe with the formation. You launch torpedoes, presumably at my my DDs. Oh yeah. Yeah, you did. 06 might not be able to avoid all those, but no, she did. She avoided that just fine. It's all the gun hits she could not avoid. And these two can target that battleship. Flamberge-2 is getting out. Are you not launching all your torpedoes? Is the aft launcher defective? I think it is. I'm pretty sure that looked fine when I was designing it, but it seems the aft launcher has somewhat restrictive angles. Still score some torpedoes though. The first one, and we get a flash fire on Barfleur. Let's see, can you launch like straight out your ass? Maybe. Okay, on to the Vikings, which are taking fire, but they're in a good position already. So we're just gonna select some targets here. You get that target. You get that target. You get that target. You can get that target. And here we go. Viking 12 is taking a couple of hits. The other ones are seemingly getting out. And we're scoring plenty of torpedo hits here. Oh, wait, follow. What are you following? Is anyone following something? Should not be following anything. You should just be getting out. You're good to go. You're probably getting out. Let's detach Viking 11 too. Let's get some more spread into this formation. But my torpedoes are striking home, which means these DDs did their job, and that's one massive super battleship already going down. At the cost of a couple DDs. But that's not too bad. See if I can avoid some torpedoes here. Actually, More important thing is, let's see if we can get some good pictures of our own torpedo destruction. That is the X turret popping off. So now it's an all forward design. Now it's the Super Uber Nelson. Did you also lose a turret here? I think you did. All the fun stuff was happening while I was looking away, trying to save my DDs. Will I save them though? Maybe, maybe not. But so far, they're doing a good job dodging torpedoes. Yeah. Vikings are getting out. Let's see. That one, yes. You all have your torpedoes off, and you should be ready for another go at some point. Okay, let's select the targets for the big guns. Well, the 14s can target lesser ships. Alright, yeah. 5 torpedo hits on this battleship, doing most of the damage, although the 16s did quite a bit too. That was actually a 16-inch hit causing that flash fire. That killed it. So that would be probably Holgerdanske. Putting that huge monster ship down. So far we've lost some DDs. Oh, these J-33s. I would not like to have them sacrificed here. But seeing as they're so close to the enemy already, let's try and make their torpedoes work. This thing got quite a few torpedoes. I think Redoubtable would be a good torpedo target because it's not doing too much maneuvering, and the enemy fleet seems to be mostly clustered around it. Let's see, Vikings, don't get too far away now. You can do donuts here as a holding pattern until you're reloaded, and you may or may not be needed again. I'm just gonna target all torps at Redoubtable. And hopefully they're just gonna launch as soon as they can. There we go. And of course they score a couple hits right at the end. And I just need to make sure my my battle line don't fly off the edge of the map. There we go. Torpedoes striking home. Hitting the battleship we were aiming at, and that is one dead battleship. And a cruiser as well. Are we gonna get Marlborough as well? No, I don't think so. Oh, this is some good torpedo effect. Liking that. Alright, it's time for the gun line to go on the offensive. Vikings almost reloaded. And the enemy AI is doing the thing again where they seemingly follow some of my DDs for some reason to some direction. So I'm just gonna turn them slightly this way, so at least the AI will try to go towards my big guns. Although I'm not really opposed to them just hanging around here instead of rushing me with torpedoes. So with most of their ships having taken a lot of flooding from torpedoes, they can't really get away from me. Yeah, they're going for the Vikings. Viking 10 has a damaged rudder. Maybe maybe Viking 10 should not be the formation leader then. Let's see. I think Marlborough is probably the one I should be aiming at. Just need to get a little bit closer. These battlecruisers are doing too much weird maneuvering for me to well, I can aim at them, but there we go. Torps have been dumped. And we're gonna get torpedo hit on Courageous. Nice. That should slow it down a bit. And we're gonna get these battleships as well. And a DD as a bonus. Oh, we did not get Marlborough. Or Duncan. I was sure that was gonna hit. Let's see this wave. Well, we're gonna miss the Marlborough again, but I think we're gonna hit the Duncan. At least once. Alright. You guys, you ought to come in here and hunt some enemy cruisers while my own cruisers are doing who knows what. Let's see. We can let the 13s take care of that ship. I actually don't have range to hit these. Still following the Vikings. Let's see, which exact ship are they trying to follow? Are they going for this one? That makes very little sense. Could of course try to draw them. No, I think they're going for Viking 10. That's the one they're firing at least. Okay. At least my capital ships are in good shape. I'm gonna turn these in here. And we're gonna go for okay, you can just all set your guns to save. I don't want you wasting all your ammunition at one heavy cruiser, which you are struggling to hit. In fact, turn them off for now. I think these guys will be better off trying to hit that one once they get into a better angle. Yeah, let's go flank speed. Yeah, this is the one with the bow torpedo launchers instead of an A turret. Are they still following one of my random DDs? Yeah, I think they're still following Viking 10. Indomitable and courageous, doing decent in terms of speed still, despite the torpedo hits. Let's see if I can bring Flamberge in for another torpedo attack, and then maybe they're gonna follow it. towards my guns. There we go. Final bit of flooding that was needed. Marlborough, you don't have amazing armor. Let's see, you can target 2 on each here. AP, you have the range. And my bigger battlecruisers are also getting into range here. Let's see. I don't really want these guys. Okay, they actually do some decent damage to Indomitable. I don't really want them fighting the biggest of the British battlecruisers head on. They're now going to turn around and draw the enemy towards the big guys. Although that is pretty impressive gunnery from my old battlecruisers. Let's see, they're switching targets back and forth. Let's not have that. Let's have 2 on each. Let's see, can you actually launch torpedoes? Flamberge-04. Then try and turn around with your busted rudder and see if maybe that very stern launcher is actually destroyed. Never mind. Get some torps off, but I don't think so. I think we're sacking the Flamberge-04 here. We might get torpedoes on Courageous. Yes. We did, if only barely. There it goes. And now you can actually start firing. You are in range. Hold good. And stand student. is actually still firing. For some reason I thought the I thought it was too flooded, but no, it's the hit points that are low, not the buoyancy. So it can actually still fight. Should probably have some ships targeting it then. Probably. All right. Duncan is dunked. There you go, and another flash fire for good measure, right at the end, aboard the Duncan. Who dunked her last donut. Probably be kind of mindful of enemy torpedo threats here. Block damage. Come on, give me some good penetrations. These old battlecruisers have exceeded my expectations for this battle. I thought they all had veteran crews. Apparently not. And that should be the end of Bedford. Not yet, but it's actually regaining buoyancy. Patching up those holes. There you go. That's the end of Bedford. Need to return some fire to Marlborough. Get these guys in here. Let's see. Kronan and Svea. See if you can score some good hits on Marlborough, which doesn't have the most amazing armor. So you're 14s might be able to do something here. Got him. I think you've had enough here. Now we're fighting back quite effectively. Those are pretty impressive. There we go. Flash fire on Indomitable. And she's gonna go down. And she goes down. Now let's just take care of Courageous. Easier said than done. Well, I think Stan Studa has decent angles on her. There we go, some more flooding. Let's drop down to some kind of cruising speed. There we go, more flooding. That might be it for Courageous. Maybe. Sixteens can finish off Courageous and then switch to Marlborough. There we go. And we're almost done here with this very impressive British task force. Need to deal with these light cruisers because some of them carry torpedoes. I don't want to get too close to them, but I also want to turn in and go straight for Marlborough. They need to be sunk first. They're kind of in the way. A little bit of flooding should be all I need. Actually, never mind, Marlborough goes down. What killed you? 13.5s. For the most part. Actually, that 16-inch hit for 3,000 damage. Might have done most of it. So just these two light cruisers then. Well, one light cruiser. And there we go. 10,000. Alright. Not bad for the cost of a couple DDs. I lost 3 DDs. Got him, took some damage. And the DDs I lost were all the all Flamberge-class, which, as I found out, have a bit of a problem with that aft launcher. Even so, they dealt some damage. So nice. Who did the most on my team? Hill, actually. First generation battlecruiser, almost 200,000 damage. Not bad. Holgerdansk and Sten Studo, of course, were firing mostly at the big ships. Honorable mention to J3310, scoring 7 torpedo hits for 110 damage. Pretty nice. No, wait. Viking 11, 7 torpedo hits, 129,000 damage. That is even nicer. And that was almost 1,000,000 victory points. Nice. And we get a battle here too, with another battlecruiser squadron, this time against the French. And the French super battleship, also with 20-inch guns. Oh dear. 12 of them even. And yeah, let's find out if these are Mark III or Mark II 20-inch guns, and if it's got radar. A more sensible battlecruiser. A bunch of cruisers, a bunch of DDs. I got 5 battlecruisers on my team. Märta and Maud and Riga with their 16-inch guns, and Venemainen and Ilmarinen with 14s. And some DDs, including the, as we found out, slightly defective Flamberge-class. French DDs are quite fast, and I think they have long-range oxygen torpedoes, so that will be a bit of a challenge. But we're gonna have to make the best of it in the next one, because this, I think, is gonna be another quite long battle. And we're still not through January of 1938. This has been a long month. This month is gonna last for a couple episodes more, I think. And I got 2 more meetings. This one and another one, which I think should also be a pretty big battle. But we'll see how long this takes and the size of the next one. We might get both in the next episode, but not now. Goodbye, and take care.